councilman, in 2006, I gave my mother a celebration to life party. And he came. He was like, well, let me see what this girl's going to do for her mother. I don't think you ever experienced that before, because that was pretty new. So he comes. He looks at my mother, and he says, this woman is your mother? And I said, yes. And he said it again, is this lady your mother? And I said, yes, this is my mother. He said, do you know that this woman helped me with my campaign when I was running for city council? And as I said to you, my mother was transitioning into a new life. So, but that day, he gave my mother life. Because at that party, she started walking around, talking. She was only supposed to be there for an hour. She was there for 4 hours. But I never got the opportunity to tell you this story or to thank you for giving me my mother for that one day. So that's why this award is so special, because you're not looking for anybody to give you anything. But I told you he gave me my mother, and he gave me the opportunity for my mother to say, look what I did. You weren't the only one who was in politics.
The former Senator Bill Perkins invited Freddie Crawford and I up to the senatorial chambers in New York State and presented what we do in the Rucker tournament on the floor of the Senate. And not only did he introduce us, but there was another senator that got up and testified about what we do in Harlem. And they gave us a standing ovation, and they took pictures, and the senator told us that very, very rarely do they allow anybody on the floor of the Senate, but we were there. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Perkins. Thank you for this award, and may I also congratulate you and thank you for your over 20 years of service to this community. I see your spirit, your fortitude, and know that real community service does not come from the positions that you hold, because you can hold many positions, but it comes from the sheer will to stay involved no matter what, to always want something more for others than you want for yourself. And for that, I say thank you.
But Councilman Perkins has been doing a mighty work in the community. I know from Mr. Clyde Cook. I know from so many names that I could go on and on right now, but he's always there, like one of the honorees said earlier. He's always involved. I had a honoring the name of the building across the street, as Keith Lilly mentioned, and the councilman was there. Whenever we have anything that has to do with the people in this community, the councilman is there. He is there. He will talk to you. Now, everybody knows he don't take no stuff. So you know, he'll tell you like it is. But he means well. His heart is huge. And I just wanted for us to take a moment and just really give a really strong, great clap for him, because he does a lot. Can we just do that?
And over the years, you know, from the very beginning, we've been out here doing the work and seeking support. And the one person who has supported us at every level has been Bill Perkins. And so, he funded us as a council member. When he stopped being a council member, he introduced us to Inez Dickens to make sure the relationship continued. And now he's back in our space. And at every opportunity, they supported this venue. So I want to thank Bill Perkins for his support over the years. Sometimes it feels lonely out there when you're doing the work, but because of him, we've always felt like we're doing the right thing. So I know my husband wants to say a few words, but if you don't know us, we show independent films in the park. We had a 7-year partnership with Lincoln Center. Thank you. And this is our space. It's raw space, and our goal is to develop it into a cinema cafe. So hopefully this time next year, we'll have great air conditioning. and it'll be a cinema and a cafe. Yes. So I'm going to turn the mic over to my partner, Greg.
Hey. No, please. More. No. I read a book a while ago, Malcolm Gladwell, Outliers. And in the book it states that it takes 20 years to be an expert or professional. Yeah. Well, Conti and I are professionals. We've been around for a long time doing this, and it's been an uphill struggle, but what's been keeping our faith is the community. We do this for the community. We show Black and Latino independent films where they're not allowed to be shown. Tonight we're showing Get Out. Yeah. You didn't see Get Out. We're showing Get Out in the park, at Marcus Garvey Park at 8 o'clock. So that's the official after party for this. In case you don't know, I'm telling you. No, but and like Conti said, Bill Perkins has been behind us 100% of the way the whole time, and we really appreciate you. Thank you very much for how you've been supporting us throughout all the years. It's really been an uphill struggle, but I think now it's starting to pay off. My wife is actually. Anybody saw on TV yesterday? Yeah. Like, whoa, I'm married to a superstar. I'm like, whoa.
And Bill Perkins, if he knows it or not, I see him walking down the street all the time. I'm on Frederick Douglass. I work with the Harlem Skin and Laser Clinic. I work with a number of different organizations on that corridor, and I see him walking by and supporting and waving. I think it's really important. So the people behind me are a part of this organization, Harlem 2020, which in the next 4 years, Harlem will be celebrating, almost 100 years. And our initiative really is to work together to actually create jobs for folks in our community. And our commitment and our mission right now is to find 20 businesses that exist or create working opportunities. So,
and I went to the city council. Bill Perkins was already there. And so we clearly bounded together like this as brothers, understanding that I represented the 7th Councilmanic District, which includes part of Harlem, but a lot of Washington Heights. And Bill and I went everywhere together, all of the functions and ceremonies. And in fact, I had the car, so Bill rode with me. But Bill will show you in a minute his Metro card. And he clearly, as the previous speaker said, you see Bill walking all the way around Harlem. And in fact, he's on public transportation, talking to people in the subway, talking to people on the buses. And so clearly, he's here, he hears all of the issues and concerns that impact our community. And if you don't know about Bill, he's run about a dozen or so New York City marathons. Yeah. And I say to you that when somebody says, oh, you run 26 miles, 26.2. Don't forget the .2, because a lot of people don't make the .2. We've seen people drop on the ground and have to be picked up and walked across the finish line. Let me say that to you. And if you know anything about a marathon runner, Bill is in it for the long haul. And he is not for himself. It's not about Bill. This is about our community. Because clearly all of the issues and concerns that impact with the gentrification, with people not being able to afford the rents, it's extremely important that we have somebody in here that knows what to do. And someone talked about the experience that he had. If many of you don't know, that back in 2002 when we were in the city council, we tried our best to get Bill to be the speaker of the city council of New York. But convincing some people, especially some people that look like us that don't want to try to come together like a lot of other people do. And I say to you that Bill was the deputy majority leader of the city council, and he put together a team. I was on his team along with Bill de Blasio, Simca Felder, Charles Barron, Margarita Lopez. And one thing he did, when we knew that we were not going to get that speakership, he said to us, don't worry, I stand with you. I'm not going to abandon you. You are my brothers and sisters. And he stood with us all the way. And I say to you that Bill has basically walked the walk and talked the talk. But this sign says it all. A strong voice we can trust to stand up and speak for our community. And so, ladies and gents, let me introduce you to your brother, our friend, the next city council member as far as re-elected, city council member, and I'm so used to calling them state senator, city council member, Big Bad Bill Perkins! Give it up for Bill.
Okay, very good. Outstanding introduction. Give Bob a round of applause, please. Because, you know, Big Bad Bob Jackson has been there, done that, and he's still around to do some more damage. And I really love him. He's my brother. We run together, literally, several so-called marathons, as well as we run together in terms of the political world. And so I've been honored to have the relationship with him. He's a true spirit, a true brother who loves this neighborhood, loves the work that we get a chance to do in this neighborhood. And I can't say enough about the treasure that he has been for me. So we're back, and we're happy to be back on the local level, primarily for two big reasons. A, we are always visible or available by comparison to being in Albany. Albany's great. I would never put Albany down, but I'm just saying I'm much more comfortable being able to, on a daily basis, meet and greet, sometimes encounter my constituents, but I'd rather encounter them than disappear from them. Because I believe we're all trying to do the right thing, and if I'm wrong, I get the opportunity to be corrected. If I'm right, I get the opportunity to show why. And I think that's the nature of the negotiation, of the arrangement that we have between ourselves and the community. So I don't duck and I don't hide, and I may not always agree, but I try to be straight ahead with what I think is the right thing to do. And I can't thank you enough for your criticisms when they come, whether I appreciate them or not. And I ask you to continue to be as active as you've been in this community, and continue to reach out to this office, not just me, because one elected official does not make an office.